In this video, we will be starting the new chapter, that is staffing. Is after planning and organizing the two functions of management, these are the two functions which we have already studied. Now the third function of management, that is staffing. So although it can be said that staffing is the third function of management, but this is third function of management only for a new organization. This is the third function of management for a new organization, but for a running organization, staffing is a continuous process. For a running organization, staffing is a continuous process. Now come to staffing. What is staffing? First of all, the meaning of staffing. Staffing can be defined as the process of acquiring staff, or you can say the hiring the worker and placing the right person for the right job. Simply saying, manning the organization is also known as staffing. In short, we can say manning the organization, or you can say placing required personnel or the right person on the organization structure. When we create an organization structure, various job positions are created. In order to fill the job positions, personnel are required, or workers or employees are required. In order to mandate job positions, the process of manning the job position which are created in an organization structure is known as staffing. This is not only placing the right person on the right job, but it is important in staffing that we have to keep a satisfied workforce also. A satisfied workforce. Simply hiring the person and placing the person is not all. Once you have hired the person and placed the person, it should be considered, or it should be kept in mind that the person who is working at various job positions, they are satisfied. And if they are leaving the organization, it means the staffing function is not being done properly. That is why the employees are leaving. Due to some reason, the employees may be leaving. But if the employees leave an organization, it means there is defect in the staffing process. Anyway, simply saying, meaning of staffing is placing the right person for the right job, or you can say manning the organization is known as staffing. Now, second, importance of staffing. Why staffing is important? Once I told you in my previous videos, whenever we are studying various functions of management, and if advantage or importance is being asked, so first of all, you can very easily write optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization of resources. This is the importance in staffing also. In planning also we can write the same thing. In organizing we can write. In staffing also we can write the same thing, that optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization. Why in staffing there is optimum utilization of resources? Because in staffing it was placing the right person for the right job. Placing the right person for the right job. Since the right person is on the right job, it will result in optimum utilization of resources. It means when you are using the right person for the right job, means that you get optimum result. Optimum result will be there. So optimum utilization of resources is possible because staffing is considered with placing the right person for the right job. Is the right person for the right job is there, so it means the person is being utilized in an optimum manner. Now, second, staffing ensures survival and continuity of the organization. Survival and continuity, or you can say survival and growth also. Survival and growth. Staffing ensures survival and growth of the organization. Survival and growth in the organization, because staffing is concerned in manning the various job positions or placing the right person for the right job. Is all the job position in an organization is being occupied or filled? If all the job positions which are there in the organization are filled with the right person for the right job, so there will be no problem regarding survival. This problem arises of survival when some job positions are vacant. If some job positions are vacant, work will not be done for that particular job position. So there may be survival issue may arise. But if the right person is there for the right job, it means the organization structure is fully filled up with the right personnel. So survival will not be an issue. And if right person is there at the right job, then it will also result in growth of the organization, because right person at the right job will result in optimum utilization of resources, and there will be maximum productivity also. So it is possible that if right person for the right job is there, survival and growth of the organization is guaranteed, or you can say it is very likely that survival and growth of the organization will take place because of staffing. Thirdly, you can say motivation of the employees will be there. Motivation of employees. Motivation of the employees will be there since right person for the right job itself resulting motivation. If a person is not placed on the right job, if the person is not placed, you can say he is not given work according to his ability and efficiency, then it will result in demotivation. If a person is not given the right job as per his ability or qualification, then it results in motivation, lack of motivation. There will be no motivation, or you can say the person will be demotivated. But in staffing is considered with placing the right person for the right job. If right person is there on the right job, then it will result in motivation of the employees also. Now next is better performance. Better performance. Better performance in an organization will be again because of staffing, because right person for the right job itself means there will be, if the right person is at the right job, then the performance of the worker will be better, or it will be improved, or you can say even best performance can also be possible because right person is there at the right job. Now this is the importance of staffing. Let's come to evolution. How staffing came into being? How staffing came into being? First of all, we have to see that how staffing has been evolved. Evolution, when something grows or when something comes into existence slowly, then it is known as evolution. Now, evolution of staffing function, first of all, as we know, placing the right person for the right job is there. Initially, when factory system was there, when factory system started, or you can see the, actually instead of factory system, you can see the industrial revolution started. When industrial revolution started, large number of workers were hired. When industrial revolution started, production was done on large scale, and when production was done on large scale, large number of workers were hired, and it led to emergence of the trade union. It led to the emergence of trade union, means large number of workers were there, and these workers were then they formed union, which were known as trade union. Now this trade union was there, it came into existence, and now since these were representing the workers, this trade union were representing the workers. So in order to, and there were owners were there. So it was very difficult for the owner to deal with the trade union. It was very difficult with the owner to deal with trade union or large number of workers. So these owners or the industrialists, they started hiring, or you can say they created a job position which were known as labor welfare officer. They created a job position which was known as labor welfare officer. So these owners created a job position which was known as labor welfare officer in order to look after the welfare of the worker. These labor welfare officers, where these job positions were created, and this position was known as labor welfare officer. Their responsibility was to look after the welfare of the worker, and they were dealing with this trade union. Now this one disadvantage of this labor welfare officer was that first of all they were to also look after the welfare of the welfare of the worker. Secondly, they were also accountable to the owner also. So if the labor welfare officers, they work in the interest of the worker, then there were some expenses were involved. If they want to give some benefits to the laborer or to the workers, so some expenses were involved, and in this way the owners were not very satisfied with the owner. These owners were not satisfied with the labor welfare officer. If the labor welfare officer tried to decrease the benefits or reduce the benefit of the workers, so it resulted in you can say the workers were not feeling ill will toward the labor welfare officer, because owner will be satisfied, because if the owner were satisfied, if the labor welfare officer reduced the benefits of the worker. But if the benefits are to be reduced, then there will be less expenses, and if less expenses were there, then the trade union personnel, they will remain unhappy. So there were very difficult in a critical situation. These labor welfare officer, they were looked down. That is why it is said that labor welfare officers were looked down upon both by the owner as well as the trade union or the workers. Slowly, when factory system started after the industrial revolution, factory system started, and this factory system, large number of workers were again hired, and especially these large number of workers, this factory also led to some specialist worker also, some special person were also to be hired. So in case of factory system, when it started, this labor welfare officer, instead of this position, the new name was given to the various job position in the organization. These job positions were now known as, in the factory system, the work which were earlier done by labor welfare officer, these were now called as personnel officer, and these personnel officers were later known as personnel manager. When the factory system started, in the factory system, instead of labor welfare officer, a new name was given to the same work which were to be done by the personnel officer, and these personnel officers were responsible for the hiring as well as for recruitment, selection and benefits of whatever the benefits or salary and wages were concerned. These personnel officers were to look after the worker, and later on these personnel officers were later named as personnel manager, and their work was simply to hire the worker and look after the various incentives which are to be given, what are the benefits they will be given, the wages, the salaries, and working conditions, what are the terms and conditions are there. These personnel managers were fixing all these things to what the worker will be getting. And as after factory system, when the modern system of, you can say, the industrialization started, that is the after factory system, now more technological development took place. This personnel manager later became now as known as HRM or human resource manager. These personnel manager, because of more technological development, new workers were hired, and instead of earlier they were not very specialist. But in case of HRM, human resource manager, various specialist managers were to be appointed. Because in case of HRM, in a single factory, various specialist persons were to be hired, and if specialist persons are to be hired, then in HRM, various specialist managers were also required. So, for example, suppose production manager is to be hired. Production manager is there. Finance manager is there. Then sales manager is there. There are various these managers are there. IT managers is there. IT manager. So, in order to hire production manager or finance manager, sales or IT manager, different specialist person related to production can only hire a production manager. Specialist who is a specialist in finance can only hire a finance manager. A person who is a specialist in sales can only hire a sales manager. A person who is a specialist in information technology, he can only hire a manager who is knowing about information technology. So, in place of, due to technological development, instead of this personnel manager, a new department came into existence, which is known as human resource manager, or this department was known as HRD. Actually, human resource department. Under human resource department, there were various managers which were known by the name of human resource manager, and these managers were responsible for hiring various specialist persons which were required to do the work. Now, staffing and HR. There is a bit of difference between staffing and HR. First of all, in a small organization, the work which is done by a manager is known as the hiring and all the terms and conditions and firing of the employees. Whatever work is done is known as staffing. For example, it is the work of all the managers also. They will be hiring the personnel or the workers, as well as they will be looking after their welfare and benefits. They will be also deciding their wages and living condition, all these things. And the same work when it is done in a large organization, that is known as HRA.